Hello, my name is Lady and today I'm gonna present to you my ecology project. So before to start, have you ever thought before about the natural selection, evolution and adaptation of all plants that you see every day in your environment? So, today by means of a terrarium that was made before, I'm gonna present you a tree that is really interesting and some forest that is food of this environment. So in my case, this terrarium is a mountain wet forest biomass. So we're going to travel there. Yes, it will be a real trip to this terrarium and we're going to see what we can find there. So let's start.
Guadalupe will be our destination. When you want to arrive there, you are passing a mountain wet forest that are a huge plant life variation. And today I'm gonna be exposing you the tree pine. And I'm gonna show you some pictures of other plants that live there.
So let's start to talk about this interesting tree that I mentioned before. This tree is the pine. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit adaptation, natural selection. Of course, I'm gonna present to you the tree. So first of all, I'm gonna be reading, so please be patient, don't worry, I'm gonna explain you what I'm reading. So first of all, the scientific name is Pinus. So this tree is part of coniferous plants or trees. That means that basically conifers are a group of plants or trees that their seeds have like a shape of cone. In this case, a pine nut. Yes, the pine nuts. And pine nuts have the reproductive structure, so that's why it's important this part, and I recommend you the next time that if you see them, don't take them, please. Thank you. The other part is that they are monoecious plants. What it means? So in one tree, or in this case in one pine, we can find both sets. Yes, the male and the female. And related with the leaf, they are organized in macroblasts and branchiblasts leaf. What it means? Macroblasts, they don't have chlorophyll, and the branchiblasts have long leaf in needle shape. So it is estimated that in Colombia there are about 50 species of eucalyptus, 88 of pinus and 5 of cypresses. Why I mentioned those trees if we are talking about just pinus? So cypresses and pinus are really similar. Even people confuse them and just create that they are the same, but they are not the same. And eucalyptus is because they have like a really similar way to live. Yes, so those trees are attributed harmful effects on water, soil and biodiversity conditions. Yes, my dear. But why? First of all, they need so much water to live. But I mean, so much water to live. Yes, they are really bigger and they space so much. They take up so much space. Yes, sorry. So, for example, that means that they don't allow to grow another plants or seeds on their way. Yes. So other part is that if you don't know, all plants make acid the soil, yes, but the pine make more acid than normal the soil for the chemical reactions that they have. So it means that it is complicated of the germination of other seeds and plants near to the pine, yes, because it is bigger, spend a lot of light, spend a lot of water, and apart of that make so acid the soil. So we can say that they are like alone trees because they spend so much parts of the nature. So another part is that economically they are really important because their trunk is so good. Yes. So they give us paper, give us good, we use this good for construction, furnitures and utensils. Yes, and another important part is the resin. Yes, I don't know if you have heard about resin. The resin Well, resin comes from the leaf and the trunk and the old perfect structure of the pine. Yes. Also, the pine live in a high mountain. Yes, as a Guadalupe, and is above 1,000 meters. They also can reach 30 meters, and that means that if they are in a hot mountain, they resist cold temperature, cold weather. Yes, like for example in another country, the winter. Yes, so we find that in its evolution and adaptation, we can find that its morphology it resists to really cold weather and temperature, also humidity and weight. Yes, so that's important to understand how this tree is adapting nowadays. Yes, so a really important part here is the global warming. Yes, the climate change and how human use the forest. Yes, because as we know, sometimes humans don't have like a balance. So when you don't have this balance, we see the problems. The problems start to appear. So what it means? So the pines don't receive so much the fire or the drought. Yes, so for example, if we find like a really longer forest fire, it will be a really problem to the pine. Yes, because their morphology don't resist this kind of temperature, because they don't have like a really good regeneration capacity. Yes, so the other part is that this drought makes sick. Yes, makes get sick the tree. Yes, so we find that defoliation and a lack of water make so vulnerable the tree. So the tree isn't gonna have the same receipt for example, to fight with parasites and another disease that trees can have. However, this pine have a trunk with thick and resistant bark. So for economic part and for human, it's perfect because it means a really good, and it's a really way of defense. It's a really good way of defense for the water and some predators. So related with the adaptation, the tree, as we know, they don't move or something like that, but they compete, they have like a competition with other trees and animals and the water. Yes, those are the mainly like enemies of the trees. And in this case, the pine, we find like the predation of their pine nuts. As I mentioned before, don't take them, please. Other is the frost or the drought weather, like the extremely weather is not so good for anyone. So in this case, it's not so good, especially the drought. Yes. Another important part is that we find the forest cleaners. What it means? This is a really good example of natural selection that apply of for all trees. You know, it's not just all pine, for all trees. And what it means, basically, this is a treatment on regular stands with the objective of modifying the structure composition of the trees. Yes, so basically it's a way of clean, for example, a forest. And in this case, just the healthier, probably the younger and the resistant trees gonna live. The rest gonna die because they are sick, they don't have the same resist, and probably they are older. So it's a way of clean, yes, on renew. I know that maybe it sounds strange, but you can look in for more information about it, and it's pretty interesting. So in this case, we can clarify as well that it's important if the tree is young or older. Is younger or older. Why? Because it's related with the genes. Yes, the older have accused their genes to older natural process. Yes, but the youngest, for example, in this case, these pines, can accuse to the, for example, new weather and the climate change better than the other. Yes, so this is like the adaptation and natural selection that the pines have passing right now. Yes, so basically we need to help them. So as you know, please take care of the nature and this whole part that we know. So now we are going to pass with the forest that I mentioned before, and I hope that you like it. Thank you so much.